Good evening, students. So this video is made for those students who are facing problem in food pyramids. Food pyramids means the pyramids which are used to represent the food relationship present within an ecosystem. We well know that in an ecosystem, when the organism interact, a relationship develops. Food chain, food web. So, how to represent that? It is represented by certain pyramids. So, we are going to study about that. You all are aware of the shape of the pyramid. Here is the shape of the pyramid. If we see carefully, the base is broad, and as you go up, it gets the entire pyramid gets narrower, and by the time you reach the topmost level, it is in the narrowest position and it is in a pointed position. So with help of this pyramid, we try to establish and try to show what is happening during a food relationship. We try to represent it either with the form of number or by the form of mass. Different type of pyramids are there. Even there pyramid based on energy. So in your syllabus we have only two types of food pyramids, pyramid of number and pyramid of biomass. So we are going to deal with it. Now in order to explain you the food pyramids, I have taken an example of a food chain, a very short food chain. Grass is eaten by a primary consumer deer. This deer, the primary consumer, is further eaten by a carnivore or a secondary consumer, lion. So on the basis of this food chain, we will try to understand the different types of food pyramids. Pyramid of number. Now what the number actually means. Number means that the number of organisms in each trophic level, means how many number of organisms are there in each trophic level. Like suppose we see the base. Usually the base, like in a food chain, grass is eaten by the deer is eaten by the lion. So we will see first the number of grasses. How many grasses are there? Usually the grass will be more in number if I compare the number of deer and the number of grass. Suppose if I compare it, then I will see that suppose I am assuming that 5,000 grasses are there. Obviously the number of grass will be more than the deer. Deer will be less. Suppose deer will be 70 in number. So they will come at the top of the leaves. The leaves or the producers will be at the base. The one with larger number will be at the base because base has more broader area. So the one with larger number will be at the base. Whereas on top of that, on the top of the base, the one which has a little less number compared to the producers will be there. That means the deer will be there. And if I see the number of lion, usually the number of lion will be less in comparison to the deer. Suppose 20 lions are there. So they will be on top of the deer. So we can say that the producers occupy the base position and followed by which is the primary consumer, the deer, followed by which is or on the top of the pyramid will be the lions with the least number. The one with the largest number will be at the base, the one with the least number will be at the top. We can say that as the producers are large in number, more in number, so they will be at the base, whereas the primary consumer will be little less than the producers, so they will be little top of the producers, whereas the secondary consumer are even less than the primary consumer, so they will be at the topmost level. Next pyramid, pyramid of biomass. What is the meaning of biomass? You well know that mass means the weight of something. So biomass will be the total weight or total mass of the living material present in each trophic level from the base to the top. How much mass is there? We will see the mass, the amount, the weight of the total organism present in a particular trophic level. Like we will see the weight of the producers, we will see the weight of the primary consumer, similarly we will see the weight of the secondary consumer. So here we have to keep in mind the total weight of the living material present in that particular trophic level. We have taken an example of food chain. That food chain, the three organisms were included: producers, primary consumer, and secondary consumer. Producers is the first trophic level, followed by which is the primary consumer, the second trophic level, followed by which is the secondary consumer, which are the third trophic level. So we will see these trophic level, these three trophic level. In each trophic level, how much weight is there? We have to see that, and by that a pyramid of biomass is formed. A pyramid of biomass shows what mass of organism is fed at each level. As the number of producer is large, so obviously the mass of the producer eaten by a primary consumer will be large. Similarly, in comparison to the secondary consumer, primary consumer mass will be large. Let us try to understand this by taking another picture. This is the pyramid of biomass of a forest ecosystem. So look carefully. We can see the trees and the grasses and all, etc., all the producer 1000 kilogram per meter cube square. So this much is the mass. If we compare the mass of the producers with that of lion, you will see that lion is 1 kilogram. Okay, so at each trophic level, as we go from down to top, the amount of mass goes on decreasing. The one organisms which are large in number, obviously they means more in number, they will have large mass. So we can see in the picture the leaves, the trees, grasses, etc., they are having a large mass, 1000 kilogram. Again we go to the primary consumer level, the deers, elephants and giraffes. These are the plant eaters. They have less 100 kilogram of mass, less than the producer. That's why they are on top of the producers. Again we go to the next trophic level. Even if we skip this trophic level, suppose these primary consumers are eaten by a secondary consumer, the jackals and all, it will have 10 kilogram of mass. Further, the jackals are eaten by the lion, mass will be 1 kilogram. Understanding or not? That simply means that the number of the producers are large. That's why the biomass is large. Different type of plants can be found. Different type of trees are there. So they are large in number. Followed by which is the primary consumer. If I see the example of primary consumer, that means the plant eaters. All the organisms, if I take and I count the number of plant eaters, they will be less in comparison to the producers, to the plants. That's why 100 kilogram means if I see the mass of it, total weight of it, they will be less. Now if I see the weight of the secondary consumers, the ones who are eating the primary consumer, if in an ecosystem, forest ecosystem, I will try to find out which organisms, which animal are eating the primary consumer, I will see that they are, and if I calculate the weight of them, I will see that they are less in comparison to the primary consumer. Now if I see and I will try to find out who are the tertiary consumer, obviously less number of lions will be there. If number is less, number and biomass is related with each other. if number is less, then obviously mass will also be less. Suppose 500 deer are there, 500 deer, and 20 lions are there. What do you think? Whose mass will be more? Obviously, the mass of the deer will be more because 500 are there. So, we will calculate the mass of each deer. Total 500 we have to calculate. Total 500 deer mass we have to calculate, and then again we have to see the 20 lion biomass. So what, whose mass will be more? Obviously the deer's mass will be more. That's why deer occupy a position just above the producers, whereas who will be at the topmost level? The one with least mass, means the lowest mass will be at the top. So this is what a pyramid of biomass shows and makes you understand that the producers with the largest number are the base, and the lions or the tertiary consumer with the smallest mass will be at the top. Thank you.